Hello, I've been over here at the desk drawing up some designs for the other half of the secret room down here and the laboratory. And I've got pretty much all my ideas together, so it's time to go ahead and get to it. Alright, to get started on this second open half, I've kind of decided on a observational area on the left here, and then some medical bays, some beds with a couple little knickknacks and instruments against the wall and separating, and then maybe some curtains separating the beds. So to get started, I'm going to frame out the little observation area here. We already did kind of put the temporary wall. I think we're going to keep it right where it is, except there's going to need to be a door somewhere. So I think 4 blocks in to give it a little bit of asymmetry. So 1, 2, and the door will be here on the 3rd block. We'll start there, and then we'll go ahead and go all the way over towards the wall for most of the way. And yeah, I think that's about as far as we can go. We're gonna have to cut it short, but if I go up, see, we can hide it. We can just put it right behind there. Sometimes Minecraft is, like I said, with that desk just on the other side, it's just a matter of perspective and point of view, and you can get away with hiding some things that would trick the eye, as it is. Or maybe I can even fill it in. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So this is the observation area. I'm gonna fill in most of it with glass. Then on the inside, we're gonna have some observations seating, and then maybe a way to trap a couple villagers in here, so they'll just have to be like, they'll be the observers. Maybe 2 villagers will be stuck in there, like librarians or something. But regardless, we'll just get started by filling in the glass real quick. I think we're gonna do this as a 2x. So let's go ahead and put as many as we can on the bottom, and then there's going to be a top to this, so we don't want to go all the way to the ceiling. We'll go back to the concrete, fill in the top with concrete. That should frame it out. So there's the frame out of the little observation area, and if we go on the inside, all right, we're going to use end bricks because they give off a little bit of light themselves, or they give the appearance of giving off some light. So it's going to be nice and bright in here to contrast the darkness of the back wall and the glass to help see in. And we're going to need a second layer, so we'll just start that layer. Fill this out. So now we got 2 rows of seating here. 2 rows of seating, and if we use trap doors to seal the top, actually go up a half a layer and then give it some texture on the top. Just like that, and underneath to keep, let's do some supports. So we use walls to kind of be like a support feature. Close it up with some trap doors. So this is how we're going to leave it for now. Once again, Minecraft, you can just come back and you can always make it better. You can improve on it. But if I take a look in here from a point of view perspective, you know, there's some seating, and they'll be able to hop up here and kind of observe what's going on over here. And let's look at what is going on over here just right now. All right, now it's time to build some medical bays, and with medical bays come 2 medical tables, or beds, I guess. So right now I've kind of marked out with these torches to evenly space them out. If they're too wide, we just place, well, let's make them 3 deep with a quick little stair slab design. And that should pretty much do it, just like this. Okay, so nice little easy bed, and we'll do another one right here. Figure out how to separate them with like a kind of a curtain, like an emergency room, you know, kind of like a feature that separates maybe two wide on the inside here and 1 on either side. The wall will be at the end. It'll be like an end feature, just like this, and then 1 on the opposite side. And 1 on this side. 1 block away. Always 1 block away. If you can, always give yourself 1 block of space so that you can even fill. I mean, you need somewhere to walk in here, right? So if you're gonna, how can you walk to the bedside if there's a wall there? We're gonna use the old chain and banner trick to do some curtains. So to do that, we're just gonna go ahead and line them up against the wall. So we're gonna use polished stairs. Boom, pop that right on top. We'll do it throughout all 4 of these as well. Perfect. I might need some more chains because I want to go across the front as well. Regardless, the trick. So the trick is this. They use the banner as a separating feature. So it's just like a little curtain, just like you would see in a real hospital, just like this there. All right, so I'm definitely going to need a few more. So let me go grab some more materials. We'll get back here and we'll start to continue with the details. All right, I've gotten a couple more chains and finished off the banner placement. So now we have all the curtains up. It's time to finish off the beds. So we're going to just go ahead and put some simple carpet right at the top, because there's going to be plenty of equipment and other little details around these beds. I think what I've already decided, and I have in my inventory, is to put lecterns right at the top of the bed. On each side for a couple reasons. One, we're going to be able to, I got to get a book and quill, but then we're going to put the book so it looks like somebody's chart, you know, the research subject that might be lying down here. To make these things look a little more, you just put some signs. So, okay, so now we have these kind of like encased to hide the middle of them. They look a little more like they're part of the end of this larger, you know, bed. I have 2 hanging signs, so we're going to put a hanging sign right above the middle, so we'll label those shortly. And now I think we get on to the details. So what I envision with this is a couple neat tricks. We're going to put like a monitor screen in the back, redstone on the side. Well, you'll see just in a second, but let me go to those materials and we'll start working on this bed, and we'll just basically duplicate it on the other side. So let me go grab this stuff and we'll talk about the features we're putting in here. All right, I've got a handful of items in my inventory which I'm going to use to put some detail around the study bed here. So we're going to start off by putting a monitor, and unlike the ones that we did over at the desk, this is just going to be a black screen with a fun little trick that we're going to use some glow squid ink for, and that is going to be putting this black concrete, which makes a very stark and smooth black appearance. We're going to put these signs, because this color can almost give the appearance of a CRT, you know, cathode ray tube, an old school, you know, monitor with a display on it. We're going to use green glow to kind of create a pattern just using punctuation. So something, a silly little trick. It's not going to look like much up close, but you know, it'll give the right effect from a distance. We're going to move on now over to the side of the bed just to put, you know, a note block on the floor and a smithing table. I like the fact that this is facing this side because it almost looks like a stethoscope, but you can imagine that it's like some medical instruments hanging up there on the side. The hammer near the guy's head, boy, just in case he gets out of line. And then on this side, we can probably use some of these other items. We get the lightning rod going on here. Lightning rods are a great little way to detail a whole bunch of different things. So I'll just use this as kind of like a stand that indicates it might be working on a computer. All right, I've got my observer, and what I want to do is put it atop this copper rod here. And what we're going to do to animate it and give it a lot more life is we're going to get that light to blink. And to do that, all you really need to do is get behind here and face another observer into the back of it. So it's going to see the other's signal and then start processing it. See how it's flashing on this side? Well, it's going to be flashing on the other side, and that's going to give the appearance of some life down here. It's probably monitoring a test subject or something like that. Use your imagination, but that's kind of that's an easy way to bring some life and animation to a scene like this. So it's just stepping back. Now it's blinking. All right, the last little trick we're going to do is kind of bring some graphics to this screen here, and we're going to use green dye and glow ink to do that. What I'm going to do is use punctuation on the sign to kind of create a little pattern. All right, I've laid out a little bit of a pattern, and all we have to do is dye it and glow it. And there it is. So now it looks a little bit like, if we step back and look at it, it's like not the Matrix, because the Matrix would be vertical, but like a very old computer screen layout. So again, just a little bit of extra detail, and to kind of indicate that something's going on here, something's being monitored, a little wave function, maybe the guy's brain or something like that. But we're gonna go ahead, oh wait, one more detail. I think we can go ahead and add a little end table on the side right on top, just like that. Okay, so now we have pretty much filled out the space on the side where the bed is. I think that looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and duplicate it on the other side and be ready to wrap this area up almost. All right, I'm over in the observation area and looking out at the study area. It looks like I pretty much have it all complete. I added a couple of new signs at the top. We call them study 1 and study 2 for the 2 beds. Let's take a look at the details now. So all the details fully complete. Mirror images. I guess I do need one more detail. We're going to put a book on the end of these lecterns, so it looks like somebody's chart is there, or one of the study subjects or something like that. But regardless, this is it. And one little thing that I did add is end rods are a great way to add like an industrial feel for lighting, so that you can take out the torches, because we definitely don't want any torches down here. We're going to be removing them. I'm going to be putting some end rods inlaid into the ceiling to kind of give that fluorescent light look throughout the middle here. And then on the perimeter, we're going to go back to the soul lanterns, those blue lamps, to fill out for effect. So we'll start to add in some of those things now, but I think we're getting close to being done. In this corner, I decided I'm going to put a quick little table, speaking about books, and then throw a book on top of it. So let me go grab the materials for that, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, yeah, so we did get our books and quill, so we're going to throw some on these lecterns to look like a study chart here at the end of the bed. And now over into this, fill out this corner here on this wall. We're just going to throw a very simple four-sided kind of table in the corner over here to get this little kind of like smaller underside. So it's a four-sided equal side table is what I was going for, and we've accomplished it. So now I'm going to throw a little item frame on the corner and maybe a book there as well. So it's just, you know, another somebody's notes, study notes off here in the observation corner. Right here we're going to throw a gurney. So I think a quick little use of grindstones as wheels. All right, I'm back. I decided to shrink it down. So now we got 2 blocks clearance here, 2 block clearance here. It's just going to be 3 wide. So we're going to go ahead and put white carpet for the head of the bed. We're going to put dark gray carpet for the base. And now what do you do with the middle? Well, you can't, you know, there is that carpet trick, but now the carpet's on the floor. So to overcome that, you can use string. String barely is visible, but it appears as a block when you go to place other blocks on top of it. So I can just do that and put one there. And if you step back and take a look at it, look at that. So it really blends in. You can barely, you can't even tell it's there, and it looks like a horizontal surface. Again, very thin as opposed to using a slab. That should be a lot thicker. And there we go. We got a little gurney off in the corner. So it definitely fills out this half of the room. So really, this is almost done. And the one thing we don't have, which is going to be hopefully just as much fun, the villagers. We got to wrangle a couple villagers from the breeder down here and get them in here. Getting them in here shouldn't be too bad. Keeping them in here should be just as easy because the carpet's there by the door, and when we lock them in, we're going to lock a couple of them into the observation room here. They can wander around here, but they won't be able to escape, and that's what we want. So let's go clean this stuff up and then go pay our villager breeder a visit and start to build out the track to get 2 of those guys down here. Alright, we are back over here with my buddies, and now, just to wrap this thing up, we're going to go ahead and shuffle one on over, just to make sure. We've already set up the track, and it's laid out right here in front of me. It goes throughout. I'm going to take a quick flyover, and then we'll come back to see if we can get one of these guys in here the first time. So it kind of goes all the way over. Oh, knocked my face right there, and right into the front and into the area. Now the area looks a little different than a moment ago because I did go back and finish all of that lighting that I talked about, so it's very much totally complete sans villagers. So let's go change that now and bring our first dude in here and hope that he makes it here alive. There should really not be any trouble at all. We're not wrangling villagers. This is literally just transporting one. My tension level is a little not really much less stress than getting them in here in the first place, transporting them across dimensions. So let's flick the lever. There goes our first candidate, and he's going to be rolling down. Now I have no redstone, so it's all momentum, although boy, he's going pretty fast. I'm gonna have to use my rocket here in a second. He has gotten quite far ahead of us. No, he's going to slow down, and there he goes. So let's see. Oh, smack my face. Oh, smack my face again. There he goes. At least we got him in the front door. So we got to see that happen, and there he is. He's just tucked in, just there waiting for a job, and considering that he's looking in this direction, it's very likely he's going to choose being a librarian, which is going to make him look a little bit like a scientist, and that's kind of the point being down here. So let's just tempt fate and take him off this minecart and see what he does, shall we? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, and he's off to the races, and he's picked his job, and he is indeed a librarian, or we're gonna call him a scientist, even though he's a librarian, even though he sells books, and he's just kind of getting familiar with his surroundings. He likes the couch over there. I hope you don't spend too much time there, buddy. You're gonna be doing research on some test subjects. All right, so that's our first dude, and I'm going to go ahead in between episodes and start to fill this area out and give it some life. We're going to probably bring at least 4 guys down here. I want to put 2 into the observation area and lock them in there with a carpet that I put on the floor so they can't get out the door. Probably even just stick an iron door there. And then a couple free roamers that are going around through the testing area and over in the library. So that's going to do it for now. A completely renovated secret room underneath the central feature of the ancient city, and it is pretty wild. This is exactly what I had envisioned. Like we said at the beginning, a little research area and a library, and now getting the scientists down here. What are they actually studying? Well, we haven't figured that out yet, and we're going to have to think about that for next time, and continue to expand the building throughout this ancient city restoration. I'm having a ton of fun doing it, and I'm going to continue. But that is going to be all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.